Hello, Michael. Well, last night we had quite an experience. We went to Repertorio Español to see Filomena Marturano. This is an adaptation of the play by Eduardo De Filippo, and it's called Filomena Marturano, Un matrimonio a la caribeña. But what is important about this production is that it was offered with audio description. And audio description is it's a form of narration used to provide information surrounding key visual elements in a media work, in a media work, like for example, a film or a play, or even at museums. And thanks to the hard work of Dr. Maria Jose Garcia Vizcaino, coordinator of the Translation and Interpreting Program at the Department of Spanish and Latino Studies, Montclair State University, Dr. Garcia Vizcaino and a group of students worked very hard to provide audio description in Spanish for this play at Repertorio Español. And we were lucky that we participated of this experience. We were there and we could enjoy the play, but also we could witness and experience firsthand the audio description experience. And you did, and you're not a native speaker of Spanish. You understand Spanish, but you also had the subtitles for the play, so you could follow the play, the plot and the dialogues through the subtitles. But you also try a peek of audio description in Spanish, and tell us how you felt about that experience.
Well, it's sure it's a wonderful experience for those who are visually impaired. It's very helpful for them, and it's a wonderful thing that they can now actually go to a play and experience it, as the rest of the audience is experiencing it. I have to say that the equipment that was used was very good, very technologically up to date. I think it was.
Well, the equipment was provided by the Department of Spanish and Latino Studies at Montclair State University, I have to say, and it's state of the art.
Yeah, and you can tell it is. It was very, very good. So many times at various things like that, even for someone who doesn't speak Spanish, and they are giving you some type of a device that interprets for you simultaneously, or even with the subtitle, like a subtitle. The equipment isn't always that great. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it doesn't even work.
That's true.
But this, I have to say, was fantastic.
Yeah.
As far as what it provides to audience members who are visually impaired, like I said, it's fantastic. And I can understand quite a bit of Spanish. So there were times that I would just sort of look away or close my eyes and listen to what they were describing. And it's quite good. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can really get a sense of what is going on, mm-hmm. and how helpful it would be to someone who can't actually see the action themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are two ways of considering this. Most people think, okay, I am not blind, I am not visually impaired, I don't need this, but it's fine that they provide this type of technological resources for those who need it. And that is a way of including everyone. And so in this inclusive world, this is a welcome technology. However, we can also look at this from another point of view. Is it beneficial for all? Meaning, if this is the future and plays will include audio description as a standard, for visually impaired people and non-visually impaired people. And so some people claim that when you get audio description, you are actually enhancing the experience because you are directed into movements and situations that you might overlook, even if you can see very well. So what do you think? Do you think it's distractive, it's intrusive, or it could be a new standard?
No, usually, especially newer plays, there's so much going on stage now to try and capture the audience in one direction or the other. When you listen to these descriptions, it kind of focuses you on what is actually going on at the moment, and it really helps you follow the story and enhances the movement of the story rather than maybe an audience member bouncing from one side of the stage to the other, trying to take everything in at once. This sort of focuses on the action at hand.
Yeah.
And I think it is very helpful.
Yeah. So it could be for all. I wouldn't make it like the standard. It would be an option, like subtitles, closed captions, and audio description. With a movie is easy because you can activate the feature or not. It's up to you. With a play, I mean, it's good that it's provided with this audio comes through these headphones that you have to wear. So in a way, it's up to you to have only one headphone on one side or both or just none. It's up to you. I have to say the audio description provided, which was generated by the Department of Spanish and Latino Studies under the direction of Maria Jose Garcia Vizcaíno, and with a group of students that work very hard in creating the script, in synchronizing it, rehearsing it, because it's a live production. So the audio description is provided live. And if there is a change in the play, it should be reflected. So anyway, I have to say that it was a wonderful, wonderful work that they did, and kudos to them, because really it was wonderful to have the audience with people who could see, people who could not see, and so everybody enjoying a play. There is an experience before, which is part of the whole audio description technique. There is an experience of having some elements, prop elements from the play that will be used in the play, and even a model of the set, so people can touch before going into the show. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think that's very helpful to someone whose sight is impaired. It was like her shoe was there,
which was relevant.
That was a prop, that she used even when she kicked it off, as trying to get back at her husband. But to feel that, and that shoe she wore later, I think that was the one she wore when she got married in the play, which was of a finer quality than what she wore at the beginning of the play.
Yeah.
And you could actually feel that. You could feel the fabric from the cloth, the tablecloth, and what else was there? The wine glasses. And the mock-up of the set, of the table and the chairs. And I could see, just as you touched that and you felt that you really got a sensation of what the stage looked like.
Exactly, the stage, the scenery. So you get a visual, tactile representation of...
There was also that bamboo, those bamboo shades in the back of the stage, which separated the main room from another room, perhaps.
Yeah.
And it was a Caribbean setting. So you could feel that bamboo and how it was made into like a divider.
Yeah.
So I think you could really get a decent picture in your mind of what that setting was like.
Yeah. Yeah. So Repertorio Español is on East 27th Street between Lexington and 3rd. That's Gramercy. And it's been there for a long, long time. And
isn't it like over 50 years?
Over 50 years, yeah. And also it being a repertorio, a repertories theater, it has a number of productions that they sort of recycle. So you have the opportunity to see up to, I think, 10 plays in Spanish, from some in translation, like this one from an Italian playwright, but in translation into an adaptation into Spanish. Some others are original Spanish plays, classical theater, some more recent ones, some from Latin America, from Spain. So it's a place where you can, if you are a Spanish speaker, if you are a Spanish language enthusiast, that you want to practice your Spanish or hear Spanish, if you're visiting and you want to go to the theater in your native language and you come from a Spanish-speaking country, it's good to know that Repertorio Español has, it's a seasoned production company that have a lot of plays going on, and the theater is beautiful. It's a gem. I mean, the stage, the orchestra, the mezzanine. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful building.
It has kind of that old world look to it. We've been to several of those little theaters in Spain.
Yeah.
And this really has that feel to it,
Yes.
I don't think they would ever do this, but hopefully they would never decide to modernize it or redo it.
No, they should keep it like that.
Yeah, they obviously should keep it like this, especially with the kinds of plays that they perform.
Yeah.
You really get that feel that you're being transported to another century.
Yeah.
And just in your own environment that you're in,
yeah,
and that little balcony in the back, it really is a very nice theater.
Yeah. The only thing that I would do if and if they're listening, I hope they are, I would be a little bit more. I mean, they do request everybody to turn off their cell phones and not to take photos during the performance like everybody does, but they don't enforce it. And unfortunately, I think that they should be a little bit tougher with the audience that don't comply to that etiquette that is fundamental. I know a lot of people, even on Broadway, they tend to transgress that, but at least, you turn on a cell phone or you lower your mask and you have an usher coming right at you and asking you to...
The other thing, this theater is so small that it's more noticeable.
Yeah.
You could immediately see if someone has their cell phone on.
Yeah.
I mean, you could see the light.
Yeah.
You could hear people in the rows in front and in back maybe talking, making comments, because the theater is so small.
Yeah. That is something that I know it could be cultural. It could be some people might still do it, but I think that it's a shame that sometimes I would use audio description just to gain concentration, because sometimes it was easier to close my eyes because I was surrounded by the glare of so many cell phones with people showing pictures, I mean, personal pictures to the person sitting next to them during the performance. And that is not acceptable, I have to say. But anyway, okay, well, thank you for chit-chatting with me about our experiences in the city. This week was Repertorio Español, and soon we're going to talk about other things. So thank you, Michael, and until next time.
See you next time.